Hustle. Pray. Eat.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Hustle Pray Eat, the podcast, episode 39. We have just one more episode left of season 1 and I just cannot believe it. I am your host Jade, or Ms Teapot, because we spill while the tea is hot, and my co-host Mark Evans, Mark the bad guy. He is not here this week, so we have a very, very special guest host today, who is my dear friend, my sister in Christ, and even my flatmate. We share an apartment. Miss Toni Evans.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Give her a warm welcome. And yes, I said Evans. She is the cousin of our founder, Mark Evans, Mark the bad guy, and she is the daughter of co-owner PE, Pastor Troy A. Evans. So that means you are part of the Hustle Pray Eat dynasty. This is your family business.
Yeah, dare I say Hustle Pray Eat
You can come in, I think you can come in a little bit. Yes, Hustle Pray Eat royalty, absolutely. So this is a very special episode, and we had to get her on this week because we didn't want to finish the season without having her on at all, because she's a huge part and contributor to Hustle Pray Eat, which we'll get into a little bit later. But first of all, tell me about your week, Toni. What's going on?
Oh, okay. For, I guess none of y'all know, I'm a first grade teacher here in Grand Rapids, so that's great. School is getting up, not this week, but next week. Well, it's a little rough, so
I think you might need to be nearer to your mic. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
All right, here we
go.
You
can. There we go.
So, I teach first grade, so I'm getting my classroom all cute and pretty and all that nonsense, and getting lesson plans done, and getting my mind right and ready to go to teach children, which takes a lot, people. I'm not mentally there yet. We're like 75% loaded. We're like, got 25% to go.
And you've worked all the way through the summer, though?
Oh, yeah, teaching summer school, but it's a totally different vibe.
Okay.
Like, less, for legal reasons, I think that I taught all the curriculum exactly how it was written and given to me. The children learned all the things, and it was a great experience.
Is that your way of telling us to use a bit more relaxed during the summer?
Oh, it was a lot more relaxed. I could wear whatever I want, which was wonderful. Because it was hot as hellfires out there in the streets. The kids were a lot more, relaxed. It was a fun time. They still got to learn, obviously, but it was like only for half the day, which was really nice, and I got to relax for the rest of the day. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's great. So for me, my week's been good as well. Very easy week this week. I feel like nothing too terrible happened. No, I didn't come home telling you any wild stories about my day. So, very easy week. Me, PE, and Mark had a great meeting for Hustle Pray Eat. So we've got some really great and exciting things coming, which we'll speak about later on. But yeah, so it's been a good week, a productive week. So for the past 14 days, I have been awake before 9 o'clock every morning. I've been waking up at 7:30 most mornings. And for those of you who have been watching this from the beginning, every week I have said I have to work on a better morning routine and I have to wake up earlier. And I'm finally doing it. I'm 14 days in. I've been giving a devotion every single morning out on my balcony as the sun shines. I bring the word of the Lord. And that's been great. It's been getting a lot of interaction from a lot of people that are just so thankful for me bringing the word in the morning. I have people reaching out, asking for prayer and stuff like that, which is what it's all about. I really want to be feeding the people the word of God each day. So that's been a great new addition to my life, and it really sets me up for the day. So I have had a good week.
I'm proud of her. I live with her, guys. The fact that she's up that early and she's dressed and got her hair done, she's looking all cute and stuff, gotten all her word together. I have never been more impressed. Right? She has done many a thing.
That is not me. Like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't wake up until afternoon.
Oh no! See, the only reason I am not doing that is because I'm a teacher and my body's literally like, "How dare you stay, not be sleeping? What are you doing? Wake up at 7:30."
Right? But like for me, because I'm a night owl, it's very hard to wake up in the morning. So I've had to find the sweet spot, which is 1 a.m. Usually I used to go to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But 1 a.m. I can still get 6 hours sleep, which is all I really need, and be up at 7. So congratulations to me. I'm killing it. Thank you. So let us recap on church today.
Oh, it was good.
So PE brought the word. First of all, we also wished PE a happy birthday because he's not going to be here next week when it is his birthday. And we put together a video for him of lots of members of the church saying happy birthday. And it was really touching and he really loved it. So thank you to everybody who contributed to that. But Toni, give us a quick rundown of what the message was.
It was mostly about, finding your time of rest, which was great to hear. I think everybody needed to hear it.
Absolutely.
It was great. It was just mostly learning about like rest and recreation and what you do. And it's almost like giving permission, like it's okay, you need it.
Yes.
You should have it. And like getting yourself into a rhythm of recreation and rest. And I was like, I need to take a note of that one.
It was definitely needed because I think especially here, and we have a lot of people who like us, we love the hustle, right? But when we talk about hustle, remember we also talk about the eat part, which is enjoying the fruit of your labour, feeding yourself, looking after yourself and other people. And that includes resting. So part of the working smart is to rest. It is so important that we get our rest because it makes us actually more productive for the following week or the following day. So yes, P was talking about the importance of having rhythms for yourself. So taking 10 minutes to just be in silence. We don't often do that.
That was stressful. That like 5 seconds. That was stressful. I was like, what happened?
So yeah, just being alone with the Lord, alone with your thoughts, and allowing your thoughts to run wild, allowing yourself to daydream a little bit, allowing yourself to dream again. So much times we fill our minds with everything about what we need to do that day, what we need to do that week, and we don't have time to just be at peace with our minds. Excuse my get old missing nail, by the way. I'm sorry. But yeah, so he was talking about the importance of that, the importance of doing things fun, and he said, "Why so serious? Why so serious? Life does not have to be that serious." So Toni, my question for you is, how do you find time for yourself, and what are the things that you like to do for fun? Because I know as a teacher it can be stressful, and you will definitely need time for yourself. So what does that look like for you?
I made a deal with myself. After, the first month of teaching, let's be honest, it's like going through the devil's home place and walking back. It's a lot of work and a lot of stuff you have to do after school. But I promised myself after the first month of the school year or whatever I'm there, after that, I try not to bring work home. I know for myself, my home space, this is my place of rest. I do not think when I'm at home because I need to de-peopleize. I literally tell Jade, like, I can't talk, I'm de-peopleizing right now. She's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I need to de-peopleize. I need to just not be around children or whatever for like so many hours. So I made sure that even if I have to stay after work for an extra hour to get my grading in, I do that at school. And then I'm like,
so you can just leave it there.
I'm just leaving it there. If it's not done today, guess what? There's a next day. We can get it done the next day. It is what it is. I can get it done, but what's important is make sure my mind's right, so that way I don't say something to a kid that'll get me fired. So I made sure I set that standard for myself from the get-go, and it definitely helped me out a ton.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important to do that because, as PE was saying, when you take time for yourself, it allows you to be a better person for everybody else around you as well. And so he also spoke about the importance of making time with family and the immediate family. We do that by spending every Sunday with the family. We have dinner together, and then, as PE said, every time there's a boxing match on, we all get together and we all watch that. And that is our recreation together as a family. So make sure, if you're out there this week, you spend some time with yourself, spend some time with your family, and spend some time with your church family as well. There is nothing like a church community, but you cannot have community and fellowship if you do not have relationship. So go the extra mile this week to speak to somebody that you don't know from your church and start to build real relationships with them as well. But I have to speak about one thing that PE done in this week's service.
Oh my God.
So he got me to stand up.
In front of the camera.
In front of the camera. So we go live every Sunday at noon on our Facebook, the Edge Urban Fellowship. He had me stand up in front of the camera, and then he surrounded me with all my brothers in Christ, and then he stood behind me
on a chair
and addressed all of you sugar daddies that have been messaging me lately. I've had like 3 people request me to be their sugar baby. Do I give off sugar baby vibes?
I think you're just younger looking and you're super pretty and you're like, I bet she wants money. So they're like, let's exchange. And I'm like, honey, she does not go that way.
Right. So these men have been messaging me, asking me to be their sugar baby. And apparently I'm gonna get $5,000 a week if I accept.
Bruh.
Talk about temptation.
Man, I could use $5,000 a month.
Can you imagine? $5,000 a week. And they was like, oh, we don't want anything from you. We just want, what I don't even know what they want.
Conversation.
But, yeah, apparently I'm gorgeous and they want me to be their sugar baby. But no, the answer is absolutely no. And like PE said, they will find you and hurt you.
I think there's a song by JJ Fish from a long time ago. We go find you. We go find you. Okay.
Yeah, so absolutely not. Thank you very much, sugar daddies out there. Next, please. No, thank you. But yes, Toni. So hustle, pray, eat. That's what we're here to talk about. So I want to know the origin story of hustle, pray, eat from your perspective, because you've been here the whole time. So it's coming up 3 years now. So talk to me about what you remember and the journey of hustle, pray, eat from your perspective so far.
Well, okay, so you know that initial conversation Dad always brings up, you know, I was in the room.
Ooh, so you were in the room
where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. Hamilton fans,
yes,
right here.
Absolutely. If you have not watched Hamilton, go and watch it on Disney Plus. It is.
I'll tell you right now, I
amazing.
can quote it from memory, from beginning to end, right now. You know, it's all 2+ hours.
I don't like musicals, but that is amazing. It's rapping. That's why I like it. The writing is brilliant. The performance is brilliant. The men are brilliant.
Oh, brilliant, Lord. Yes, Lord.
But yeah, so sorry, carry on. Using the room where it happened.
Yes. So I remember Mark came in. Dad was like, where'd you get this shirt? And where can I get one? I was like, can I also get one? And on that, and no one was listening to me, which is why no one knew I was in the room where it happened. Because no one was listening to me. And Mark was like, yeah, I made it myself. I was like, so there's no reason for you to have not gotten me and Dad one. Selfish. And then from there, Dad was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to talk. So I know when Dad and Mark is about to go into one of them deep, that face is like, oh my gosh. I'm going to go read a book. Y'all have fun. Let me know what I need to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, fast forward like a half a year after that, I'm packaging stuff in our living room, a floor, making
You really had my mom before I had it.
Oh my gosh. And can I say God bless for Jade? Because, honey, I was not made for that. No. You need me to watch your kid. You need me to be a happy face. You need me to wear a cute outfit. I'm there. I will sell your thing. But I did not like doing inventory.
Really? I love it. It's like, that's my recreation. I love doing that stuff.
She loves
actually, my recreation is retwisting her locks.
Oh, and can I just say she is excellent. I buy her a meal and she does my locks. That is the
I love doing Toni's locks. It's so relaxing to me. But anyway, so that happened. So even before Hustle, Pray, Eat was a thing, before it was printed on a t-shirt, this has always been the mantra, really, of the Evans family.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what that was like growing up and how it has affected and shaped who you are today?
I think definitely every time my dad spoke, it wasn't these words, but it was to one of those things.
Yeah.
Like, especially for like hustle, our family has a hustle addiction. We have always been like entrepreneurs, working, doing something. Like I started babysitting for church when I was like 12, making money or not making money. I mean, pastor's kid life. We've always been working, doing something, working in ministry, working in school, working in one way or another since I was like really little. So that's always been a part instilled in us. So like now, growing up, like I'm older, and I'm like, I took a week off last week because I have 2 weeks in between starting PD and ending summer school. I was like, I need to be working. Why aren't they working? I'm like, honey, you worked all summer. So this is the healthy hustle and pray and eat portion. You need to get to all the parts.
Right, absolutely.
So I think definitely hustle was a good thing. Praying, keeping God in center of everything has been our whole family's everything. I mean, we are a ministry family. We move as a family, which I love. So that's always been like, duh, kind of thing. And taking care of yourself and each other is how our family survives.
Yeah.
Constantly having people live with us throughout the years, helping out when families needed, lots of free babysitting, taking care of ourselves and others and fellowshipping with each other. So it's like these words have always been in our lives. This is a very nice, pretty way of putting everything that is my life.
It just sums it up so perfectly, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that has shaped you then, and so it's just become who you are naturally. So much so that you have actually achieved your childhood dreams already at 22 years old. 23.
I'm turning 24 next month.
Yes, So you have already achieved your childhood dreams, which is to become a teacher. And I always ask you, I've asked you before, but tell the people, because a lot of people don't get there until a lot later on in life, or if they're lucky enough to ever do that. But you have done it, so you know what it feels like. What does it feel like? To be totally honest, is it everything you would have dreamed of? Like, what does it actually feel like when you achieve your childhood dreams?
I think first it's like, wait, I did that? Because especially, I had this goal since I was 5. My parents would tell you straight out, like, yeah, she has never wanted to do anything else since I was like 5 years old. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a teacher. And then you have to switch your mind to, I am a teacher. And that was like a whole total mind shift of, I just did the thing. I did the thing? I did the thing. Like, it was like a whole mind shift. I'm still in the middle of that, man. I just graduated in November, and I got my job a week after I graduated.
Wow.
And in that same week, I moved out and moved with you. So, like, it was like so much transition so quick. I haven't even wrapped my head around 100% until like middle of the summer. I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world?
Yeah.
I did the thing. So there was a moment of shock and disbelief, and then it was like the hustle brain in me was like, okay, now what do we need to do? What I need a new goal, I need a new thing. But I had a conversation with somebody else, and they were like, once you meet a goal, that is not your time to make a brand new goal right then and there. You met a goal doesn't mean that goal is finished. That means you can make that goal be a new aspiration, like build onto that same goal. Like, I'm a teacher now, great. Now I want to be an excellent teacher. Now I want to do it better.
That is a good. Can we just stick there for a minute? That is really good, because a lot of people think once they've done the thing. So like, take me and Mark for example. We have the podcast. We like that was always my dream. I don't think it was always Mark. It was always my dream, and getting there. It's not like I'm satisfied now. Like, I'm totally happy. Everybody knows this is my baby, right? But we want to make it better. We want to make it more excellent. When Hustle Pray dropped a t-shirt, they want to make a new one. They want to improve. And with everything, we build on it. So if you are at a place where you feel like, wow, what's next? how about just taking some time to just slow down and think and ask the Lord, how can you make this thing even more than it is right now? Be faithful with the little that you have. Be faithful with the dream that has come true and continue to build on it. There's still some more that you can be doing. So seek the Lord. Do not rush yourself onto the next goal, because there's going to be always more for you to do. But while you're in this moment, revel in this moment, be thankful for this moment, but see how you can build to make it better and more excellent. So yeah, so you saying you want to grow into being an excellent teacher.
I think I have to get to the point of like, I did go from achieving the job to doing the job immediately, but I needed to make a time to like celebrating I have the thing. Yes. Celebrate yourself. Be like, because I'm a person that I immediately sometimes I feel selfish for taking the necessary time to break, or I feel selfish for things like that. But I'm like, it's not selfish to be like, I did the thing.
Right.
Hey, and just celebrate yourself. Why so serious? Don't take it so serious just because you achieved a goal. I became a teacher. I'm very grateful for that, but I can still revel in. I can still make sure I find the joy in the job that I've worked so hard to get. So I am like, beyond thankful. I was literally driving my car today. I was like thanking God, like, Jesus, thank you for 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like, goodness, I was just driving. I was like just thanking God, because I was like, I was like feeling good. I was like, this is a gosh darn great day, man. Thank you.
And I spoke about that this morning about, the Bible says, enter into his gates with thanksgiving and praise, and it does something to your heart and your mindset when you are full of gratitude, when you're able to look in each day, in each moment of your life, in each season, and find the things that are worthy of giving God praise for. Life itself is worthy of giving God thanks for. When we do that, and when we have an attitude of gratitude, then it really shifts the way that we see life. We end up being in a more positive mood and mindset. So that is a really, really good thing. So you're a first grade teacher.
Yes.
You're going into your second school year.
My first official full year. Y'all, I started teaching in November in the middle of a panorama. Okay. Can I just say, all teachers that made it through, won't he do it? He said he would. It was rough. So I'm excited to just start a brand new year from the beginning.
Yeah.
Not having to teach both virtual and in person at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that was not it, sis. That was not it. So it's just going to be
Let's talk about that for a minute, because so you did start teaching in the middle of the pandemic. So how has education changed as a result of the COVID pandemic, if at all?
Oh my gosh, it's changed so much. I think going back to the idea of rest, I think you have to be more vigilant on rest when you're able to be virtual. When you have to do a virtual classroom and things like that, you have to be more making sure you are on top of your rest. Because when I was teaching virtual and in person, I had a regular classroom with 20-something kids, and I have a virtual classroom. I had 29 kids all together.
Okay. So
I was managing all these kids at the same time. I had to set up my Google Classroom with matching materials as my in-person classroom.
Oh, okay.
And my parents have my phone number. So they text me
she's talking about the parents of her kids.
Oh, yeah, the parents of my kids. I love my parents this year were phenomenal in understanding, because they also understood we're in the middle of a pandemic. We got things that's going on. So they were amazing, thank God. But, like, it's so easy to be feeling like, they can text me any time of the day and time of the night. They can contact me because there's always something going on when your kid is not in my classroom. Like, you never know what's going on, so you're always in constant communication. So I had to be vigilant. Like, I cannot talk to you after 5 p.m. Yeah. I cannot. And, like, scheduling times to set up my Google Classroom, that took, like, a nice chunk of time just to set it up every week with the thing. So I had to be, like, on it, making sure I had all my stuff up, making sure everything was together. So it it was definitely a lot of extra work, and it changes education a lot, especially when they're in first grade. I think it's very young to be a virtual student, just because
the attention span.
Oh my gosh, the attention span is like a gnat. It's just you had to like reprogram their brain to be back in school. And reading is difficult. You can't teach reading on a computer. You can't do it.
Really?
It's impossible, because especially when they're young, they need like a physical thing, and if they're on the computer, I can't send them books every day.
Okay.
So we have a virtual library. Every parent, listen to me right now. Epic Books. Okay. Epic Books. Go to Goodwill. Not Goodwill. Go to Google. The Google. Type in Epic Books. Make yourself a thing or whatever, and sign in. It's a free online library that reads to your kids for you. And it has thousands and thousands of books. It has from like pre-K all the way up to like 8th grade level books on there. And it reads to them if you want them to, and they can read themselves. But going on that, it's still hard to be able to see what can your kid actually do when I'm trying to get them online on time. They're first graders. They're 6 years old. It's not easy. And just getting them to, Lord forbid, the internet's not working correctly that day or whatever. So it was just very complicated. Yeah. But we did the thing.
You done it.
We got out of it. Congratulations. By the glory of God alone.
So for this new coming school year, they are back in person. Yes. 100%.
Yes. I mean, there is some parents that are choosing to still have their kids in virtual, which is totally understandable with the new variants, as my grandmother liked to call them. Delta, Alpha, and his cousin Beta are coming out. So some parents are choosing to do virtual, but luckily NHA specifically, I know specifically NHA is doing it, I don't know about other districts, they have set up a whole separate, almost like a separate school, still within NHA. That's
What's
virtual.
NHA?
Oh, National Heritage Academy.
Okay.
Great schools. They're moral-based public schools, which is pretty cool. Which is like very good medium between a private and a public. Which is what I like. So they're able to still be part of NHA and still, be part of the district and things like that, but they're still able to do the virtual stuff, and I don't have to teach them myself, which is a blessing. Blessing. Because there was like good 4 different times I had to pop on and off the Google Classroom during having 20-something kids running around. Oh wow! It was complicated. So yeah.
Well, God bless you, Toni, for all your hard work teaching our kids. So what can parents do to make your life as a teacher easier?
Yes. Okay. So going into the school year, expect the unexpected. Okay.
I think that's a life lesson for all of us. Tomorrow is not promised. We don't know what tomorrow has around the corner. So even us as Christians, sometimes we think, oh, we're in Christ now. Life is fine. We're going to be floating on the cloud for the rest of our lives. But no, we don't know what's around the corner. So expect the unexpected. But especially to parents out there for the new coming year, expect the unexpected. Why do you say that?
Because, we're all the kids are in person, but we're still wearing masks. But that can always change. It can always change if we have to go back into quarantine. It can always change. Like, if one of my kids gets COVID, a whole pod or group of kids will have to quarantine. Or a whole classroom will have to quarantine. And we'll have to do virtual class for 2 weeks. So just be willing to go roll with the punches, because as many punches as y'all are getting, we're getting double, because we have to manage all 20-something kids on the computer. So, just be willing to move where the current takes us. Definitely be very gracious with your teachers, because we dealing with a lot. So be very gracious. And then please make sure that especially when they have the apps for communicating with you, download those. Get on that. Because that is a very good way of getting in contact with you. We can contact with you instantly if there's something going on. You can contact with us, so make sure we know what's going on. Just have open communication with your teachers, because we may find out stuff through your kids that that would have been helpful to learn at the beginning of the year. I didn't know until halfway through the year, hey, my kid's allergic to peanuts. Yo, bro, you are lucky I don't let my kids have peanuts in my classroom. He could have died.
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff like that. Like, just making sure we have all the information you can give us about your kid. It's not like we're going to judge you on anything like that, but based on what your kid's going through, we will teach them different.
Oh.
And, like,
really?
if they have trauma going on in their lives, I'm not going to treat the kid the same way. It's, for instance, if I have a kid that's experiencing homelessness, or they don't have a lot of food at home, or whatever, one, we're not going to judge you because we understand life happens. COVID is rough. Life is rough. We understand. And two, we can help make sure that your kid gets the things that they need at school so that way they can take things home.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, like, if we know that your kid hasn't eaten, they behave differently. So we have to teach them differently.
Okay.
And provide for the base level things first, and then we can get to their knowledge. If we don't know what those base level missing things are, they're not going to get the knowledge they need, and they're going to waste our time and their time.
Oh,
So just open communication, man.
That is great. Is there anything else that you'd say?
If you live in a winter state where winter happens, please, I'm begging you, especially if they're younger, first kindergarten it up. Practice at home putting on your winter stuff. We have to train. I had my kids down to 2 minutes, all of them getting dressed in their winter clothes. But it's easier if they are used to having to put them on. And do not do that for them. Let them do it themselves, because I can't help 29 kids. I can help 2 in that 5-minute time that I have to get them outside.
Yeah.
But, like,
that
home,
is a great tip.
I
wouldn't think of that.
If their kid has a hard time with right and left foot, cut a sticker in half and put one on each shoe so they can match the sticker and they know what shoe to put it on.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Right now, that'll cut down your time. That'll cut down my time. The kid will be less stressed and they will not be crying. I will not be like, just get the darn thing home, man. It'll make everybody so much easier. Just practice at home. Get them to do it like once or twice at nighttime until they get it smoothly. If they can get it under, like, make it a game. Like, if you can, like, you beat your last time, you get a prize. Kids will beat that stuff up.
That is a good tip.
I'll tell you right now.
So it was number 1.
Flexible.
Be flexible. Expect the unexpected. Number 2. Keep an open line of communication with your teachers. Use the apps that are provided for said communication. And number 3, prepare your kids by making sure they are able to put on their winter clothes so they can do it themselves when they get to school. That was excellent tips. So I'm going to ask you, do you have any tips for teachers or students that are about to become teachers? Because you've just experienced your first year, so maybe you can tell us the biggest things that you learned in your first year of teaching.
I'm currently learning this skill. It's called breathing. Just breathe. Just like, just you have to take your moment and, like, sit there in your classroom when your kids are out to recess, or, like, if you're not on recess duty, or you're, like, doing your lunchtime needs to be your time. That is 20 minutes out of 8 hours that you need to take by yourself.
Yeah.
Do not use that time to make copies unless it is an emergency. Use that time because you are going to need it mentally to get yourself ready for the rest of the day. Give yourself that 20 minutes and breathe. Yeah. Eat that food. Take that 10-minute nap in your car. If you need to take a 10-minute nap in your car during lunchtime, girl, do it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do because you got to get yourself mentally there. And then one of the biggest things for me is these teachers that are in there when you're going. I'm 23, about to be 24, y'all. And I'm like, most people in there, I'm like 10 years younger than everybody else. Most people. Because, you know, teaching takes a lot of money and time and stuff to get into. So it's like, it took me 5.5 years. That's at least 5.5 years between the last teacher that went in and me. And most times it's even more. So you will not be at the same level they are. So do not compare yourself to that. Because you are only going to make yourself more stressed and more disappointed in yourself. And you have no need to.
I think that's another a great tip for life in general. Like, so often we can't, like you said, somebody that's been a teacher for X amount of years compared to you who's only just become a teacher. I think we can do that as Christians as well, right? Because I remember when I first became a Christian, I was comparing myself to everybody, thinking, oh, like they seemingly so much more holy. You know, they have more Bible knowledge. They're more comfortable with praying than I am. But I think don't compare yourself. Always just listen to God. What is God telling you about who you are, where you're meant to be, and just let life play out. Stop comparing yourselves to other people. And I think, especially like in this social media generation, I think it does havoc on people's mental health. Just the simple act of comparing ourselves to other people. So don't, because you are wonderfully and uniquely made in the image of God. So you are special. There's only one of you, and that is your superpower. So stop comparing yourself to other people. That's great. So you said take time to breathe. Don't compare yourself. And did you have another one?
Don't be afraid to ask.
Oh, that's good.
Ask for help. Ask for guidance. Ask for a mentor.
Ask for prayer.
Ask for prayer.
You're gonna need it.
You're gonna need it. Those kids are gonna try you and Jesus, and you're both gonna fail. It's gonna be rough. That first year, it is gonna be rough. So don't be afraid to ask. I know for me, I felt like, okay, I went through 5.5 years of college.
Mm-hmm.
I have been teaching Sunday school since I was 8 years old. Like,
wow.
Oh my gosh. Pastor's kids life. We're going to talk about that another time. But just because you went through all these things does not mean you will not need help. It also doesn't mean to need help means you are incapable. Mm-hmm. That's not what that means. It means you are a fat person, faithful, available, and teachable. You're able to be taught. You are a teacher, but you're still being taught daily. Mm-hmm. So this is your first couple of years are going to be rough, and you're going to have lots of questions. You are not stupid to ask questions. You are not incapable. You are still very much a teacher. You're not a kindergartner. You're not a kid teacher. You are a full-on teacher, and a teacher can ask questions. You're able to. You are responsible to your kids to ask questions, so you know. If you think of it like that, not as I don't know things, so I'm just so dumb. If you think it as I'm asking for my kids' betterment, trust me, it changes your whole outlook on things.
Yeah, I think I think these tips are so useful to life in general. It's okay to ask questions. If you are in a church and you're in your Bible and you don't understand something, find somebody that can help you understand. Ask. After the preacher's done preaching, you didn't understand something. Find somebody to ask, what did that mean? Especially if you're a new Christian and stories and things are just going over your head. Always look for somebody to disciple you. And like you said, remain faithful, available, and teachable. It is the formula. Mm-hmm. So just quickly going back to Hustle, Pray, Eat and how it's affected you. So we've heard about the beginning stages of you seeing the t-shirt for the first time and wanting one, to you becoming the person that folds the clothes. Then we heard about how it's affected you currently and how you put it into practice with your teaching. Talk a bit about right now as well, because on top of your teaching, you're still very much a part of Hustle, Pray, Eat. So do you want to explain to the people what your role is?
So, okay, Jade is the boss woman. Okay. I am her retail assistant.
My retail assistant.
Pretty much. She gives me direction and I say, yes, ma'am. I help out at pop-ups. A good chunk of my Saturdays are at pop-ups. I did say I was on hiatus for school to start.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Go to realm school, sorry. But I go to pop-ups. I occasionally do pictures if we can get a good one out of mine. If you haven't noticed, I am an awkward human being. So occasionally do pictures. I'm helping out with the conference, which I'm for Hustle, Pray, Eat the conference.
Oh, we'll get to that, honey.
I'm hosting, artists and speakers for that. I am the willing hands and feet for whenever they need me.
And the driver.
Oh, yes. My van is the Hustle, Pray, Eat van. I got a mom van, and she's cute. His name's Apollo. He's cute. He's this blue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and, I am I still have a tent in there.
Yeah.
I used it for school the other day.
Did you?
And it went right back in my car. So,
But yeah, while we're here, I want to thank you because you really do make my life so much easier. You have been so reliable on this hustle pay journey from I got here. Well, from before, but from what I've witnessed, anytime we need you, even if it's like the day before, I'm like, oh yeah, Toni, we have a pop-up. I'm
well,
sorry.
okay. I assumed anyway, but okay.
You always make yourself available. You are okay. This is my partner in sales, right? When we are together,
We make
we're
money.
selling out. We are selling out. We sold 2 X-size things to somebody who asked for an extra small. You come and asking for an extra small, you're gonna leave with what we have,
and you're gonna love it, honey. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
The trick is to give them, especially when it's a girl, that fashion advice on how it would work. Like, honey,
you can wear it as a dress.
Wear it as a dress. Give it a little belt, some sneakers, little biker shorts. Girl, you'll be getting through. Like, I'm telling you right now.
Absolutely.
That's how you make money.
And your way of getting customers to be interested is you compliment them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you compliment them on something. You compliment them on their outfit, and it brings them over. And
it's never a lie. I always find something I like.
Yeah,
always. I make sure.
That's good. So yes, Toni is our one of our great sales pet people, and she does a wonderful job. Just in case you guys were wondering about what she does for Hustle Pray Eat. So Hustle Pray Eat, the conference. Let's talk about it. If you are in urban ministry, if you are a business person or starting a business or thinking about starting a business and need help with business plans, next steps, and things like that,
I would say if you're an urban teacher,
get
your hips in here.
Yes, if you are teaching in an urban community, urban children, yes, absolutely. That's a good thought. If you are an artist, there's going to be hopefully there's going to be people from a major label here. Mm-hmm. So there's so much that is going to be taught. This is going to be rich, full of information for urban ministry, business, and artistry. So you have to get down to the edge for Hustle Pray Eat, the conference, on the 29th to the 30th of October, okay? So we have a couple of months. You have a couple of months to save your money. It's not it's $50. It's not expensive at all. And we have a concert. We have some great artists that are on the lineup. So make sure you head over to www.hustleprayeat.com and register for Hustle Pray Eat, the conference. And while you are on the website, take a look at our new drops. We have blue and yellow and the red and white out this week. And then last week we had the purple and yellow and what was the other one?
Was it green?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know.
Why can't I think about it?
Can't remember.
Oh, the black and yellow.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that one's amazing.
It's so good. So make sure you head over to our website, register, and pick yourself up a brand new t-shirt. And continue to look out for us at the pop-ups because we have all the colours on the road with us. So yeah, and thank you to everybody this past weekend who did buy something from me. Thank you very much. So Toni, do you have anything else on your heart while you're here, while you are meeting the people that you want to share?
Not really. Just thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the tips. Fun. It was very practical. Very, very practical and informative. So nothing else you want to tell the people?
No, just keep an eye out for all the cool stuff coming in. Be nice to your teachers. Get them a nice plant and a piece of candy for their troubles.
And a red apple.
Honeycrisp, actually.
Red apples are nasty. Where did that come from? People giving apples to teachers?
I don't know. I think it's just like a kind thing. Because, back in the day, lots of farmers, that's why they have summer school. They have summers now because they fixed the school calendar based on when farms needed kids to help harvest.
What?
You didn't know that?
No, tell me.
So pretty much schools were, you could choose the Chinese way, which is like all year round with lots of breaks. But especially in the West, we had a lot of farmland and a lot of our kids were farm kids, They work with their parents like we work with our parents when we pastors' kids. So they were needed to harvest food. So during the summer months was a lot of the harvesting time and the replanting time. So that way the soil will get ready through the winter and the kids can work in the winter anyway. So they set up, so the summers were 3 months of harvesting, replanting, getting the soil correct for the next season. And so that way they had all that time, and then school would start when they couldn't work anyway, while the plants are growing / through winter, and then while the plants are growing through mid-spring. I have a fountain of random information. Hello.
Wow, I had no idea. But can we touch on this quickly, because you mentioned it a few times. I think it's such a staple of your life. You are a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
And you guys are a unique bunch.
Oh,
so what do you think are the biggest standout things that you have noticed from conversation with people that's different from your life as a pastor's kid to a non-pastor's kid?
I think we're different from even other pastors' kids, to be honest. But,
why? Why do you say that?
Okay, one, the kind of ministry we have is not like most folks. Okay, we are we're in urban ministry, which is like what 20% of churches or whatever.
Yeah,
very small amount. Multicultural, multi-ethnic, that's even a smaller amount. That's different. We always have a lot of different people around our tables, but I think we are different from most kids because we are as much a part of ministry as our parents are. We are a reflection of our parents. So it has
is that
pressure.
I'm gonna say what kind of pressure comes with that?
It has some pressure. I wouldn't say pressure, because I think of how my parents gave it to us was not as pressure, but more of we're more aware of ourselves.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, on the internet, on Facebook, I literally think I have like a checklist. Okay, profanity, nudity. Well, I mean, these are things people should be looking at, but let's be honest, ain't nobody looking at it anyway. Right. And then, like, if this was related to if it would offend, not exactly offend, more like if it's risque. You know, we are all very humorous people. Yeah. My family, we laugh. So, but just because it's funny to me does not mean it's funny for everyone to hear.
Yeah.
And I should not be sharing everything with everybody. And that is something I had to learn growing up, because I'm one of those people that I will tell you all about myself and everything like that. You know, I'm just super talkative, but I've had to learn to, like, not everyone can be trusted with everything.
Yeah.
And be smart and think through things. So I think that kind of thing, I have to think more about what I present to the world. Which is a positive thing and a negative thing, depending on how you go for it.
Yeah.
You know? There was that, and other than that, I think I've had a lot of opportunities that most people haven't. Of seeing the world differently and seeing people differently. I think that has to mostly do with my parents rather than pastors' kids in general.
Okay.
Because my parents were very, very, very. It was very important that we were around different walks of life.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They're very much just so. I have some amazing parents. I like all of them so much. So I know a lot of pastors' kids that are like almost like, you'll hear a lot of like they're almost resentful of it.
Yeah.
But I love it. I think it's so. I would have never done the things I did if I wasn't. Yeah. So I think I'm grateful for it. It's definitely different than most other kids, but I never saw it as I'm different, but I am different. You didn't get to do this, but I did. Like, so I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. How about the side of having to share your parents with so many people? What's that like?
When I was younger, it was a lot easier for me. I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Because I share them with you. So how does that?
I think you're a different caliber.
Okay.
You hit different. I'll be honest. You do hit different. Certain people hit different depending on who you are.
Okay.
But
So why was it easier when you was younger? Because that surprises me. I think a lot of people, it'd probably be the opposite. Like that it was hard when they was younger, but now that they're used to it. So can you go into that a bit more?
When I was younger, when my dad would go visit churches, it was our family, is my dad time. So we would go and we'd get McDonald's for breakfast, and that was special because McDonald's for breakfast is amazing. And then we'd I would wake myself up by myself. I would wake myself at 4:30 in the morning to go with him to travel for a couple hours. And then we'd go to church, and I'd run his merch for the thing. So I was doing merch since I was way young, very young, so I know how to sell stuff. So, like, you know, I'd sell his merch for him, sell his books for him, and then we'd go and have lunch together after, and we'd, like, discuss theological questions in the car, and, like, we'd, like, literally, my dad would be like, so what do you think about this church? What do you think they should change? And I would give him, like, a detailed list of things I would change, things that should happen, da-da-da-da. My dad was like, yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, you know, that was, like, you know, our family time, and, you know, living in the house is also different. But I think now that I'm older, I think every adult goes through this. Like, you have to be more intentional with your parents because it's not just on them anymore. And so, especially because my dad is, like, very busy, you know, and I'm now having a full-time job, and I have health things going on, so it's harder to find the time to be with my dad sometimes, which sucks. But I also understand it's not 100% on him. So I think it's harder now because I'm older and we don't live together.
Okay, so the time that you do have with him, you prefer it to be
closer knit.
Okay.
You know, because I don't know. I mean, we are authentic regardless of who we're around. Because we are who we are, and we ain't going to apologize. But I do think it's just a little different when it's just you and your dad and your mom, and, you know, just us all together, rather than, like, having everybody come over. Not that I don't love it, because I also love people. But sometimes, you know, you just want your little family unit. And Jade's officially been adopted into that. Like, she has her own seat at the table when no one sits there if she's not there. But you know you've in the family unit when no one sits in your seat. So, yeah. Or, like if you're not there and it's just me, Aaron, mom, and dad, we're like, where are they?
Where's Tank the Beloved?
Where's Tank? Where's Jade? We literally look at each other like, this is wrong. And I was like, I know, I feel like I'm betraying something. So, yeah, I think, it's definitely different when you're older. But still great. I love seeing what he's doing. I love being a part of it. I'm like, Dad, let me know if you need me.
That is awesome. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that in there because I think, you know, like, from us who are not pastors' children, you always hear of, like, life as a PK, or, you know, PK problems and stuff like that. But it's such a breath of fresh air to hear that it's something that you've enjoyed and something that has actually enriched your life and something that you are thankful for rather than resentful about. So that is awesome. So thanks again, Toni. And we are actually going to end it right now. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you share, you comment, and you subscribe to the channel. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed in this last week. We pray that this finds you well. We pray that you are blessed. And remember, I'm going to challenge you this week to find something fun to do for yourself. And also challenge you to spend 10 minutes alone in silence. No phone, just you and the Lord. Get some rest and have some recreation. Have fun, people. Why so serious? Bye!
Yeah. We going up. We going up. We going up. We going up. We going up.